This is like an outdoor drop-in center for drug addicts and drug dealers. When it is found out who is responsible for this explosion, the ticket they are going to receive is actually a lower amount than a parking ticket. David Menzies for Rebel News here in downtown Toronto. Well, my cameraman Lincoln J and I have returned to Clarence Park Square. It's a precious little piece of green space that now unfortunately houses a filthy tent city. You might recall we were here in January to report on this festering eyesore. Here, check out this clip.
Yeah, I live in the area just up the road. Seeing this tent city kind of grow over the past few months. It started off with a few people, and then now, it's huge. You can see it behind me.
Well, we have returned to the scene of the grime, and it's still here, as you can see. But there's another reason Lincoln and I have returned, folks, and it's because yesterday there was a huge explosion here. It could be seen and heard for blocks. It's uncertain what caused the explosion, and fortunately nobody was killed or injured, but it just is another indicator of the folly of allowing such a place like this to exist. Now, as you can see, I'm surrounded by condominiums. Some of these condominiums house young families, and I'm sure they'd like to, especially in better weather, come here, walk their dogs, let the kids play. But the fact of the matter is, it's simply too unsafe to do so. And the fact is, it's not just explosions that are going on. If you speak to people that live in the area, there are assaults, there's instances of verbal abuse, there has been break-ins to residents and businesses, and yet Mayor Olivia Chow turns a blind eye to this. It is absolutely outrageous. And as a matter of fact, my sources tell me that what caused the explosion, it was less likely due to somebody cooking food, and more likely it was all about somebody cooking crystal meth. You see, you might think this is a tent city where people are sleeping in tents 24/7, but that is not the case. For the most part, this is like an outdoor drop-in center for drug addicts and drug dealers. That is really what's going on here. And in the meantime, the tax-paying, law-abiding citizens who live here, well, they have to suffer through this. And get a load of this, folks. When it is found out who is responsible for this explosion, the ticket they are going to receive is actually a lower amount than a parking ticket. Now, I don't know what that means. Perhaps it says something about the city's ongoing war on the car. And by the way, parking tickets are going to be doubling pretty soon. Or perhaps it's all about turning a blind eye to these kind of problems. Reward the takers, penalize the makers. It's absolutely outrageous. And something can be done. We need just look to the province of Alberta. Look what's happened to the filthy encampments in Edmonton since Danielle Smith became premier. She's cleaning house, literally. And in those encampments, there has been discoveries not just of drugs, but of lethal weapons. So why can't the city enforce the Trespass Act? I'm certain there are at least 11 sections of the Trespass Act broken here, but rather we live in a city where there are so-called safe injection sites. Safe for whom? It seems to be a program in which the misery is prolonged. I can only imagine how big this filthy tent city is going to grow once the warmer weather comes. Mayor Olivia Chow, I'm looking at you. Do something. Enforce the law, for goodness sakes. Instead of going around doubling parking fines, how about we take care of this filthy encampment and protect the citizens from future explosions? For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, look behind me. What a mess. I mean, enough is enough. If you feel like we do, please go to our website, fixourcities.com. That's fixourcities.com. Sign the petition, and if you're able to, kindly make a donation so we can continue to bring you the other side of the story.